sign that the United States is becoming low-key totalitarian.
It doesn't make the United States low-key totalitarian.
Set for Life gives you the chance to win a top prize of £10,000 every month for 30 years. 2. And now for the Life Ball, which is 3.
Investment. Compared to trading stocks on margin, futures require less capital up front and provide the most leverage for the margin.
It's going to be about a mortgage. What exactly is a mortgage? That means pledge. You get that? A mortgage is a death pledge. Now, where did that come from? That literally comes from the French. When they wanted to own property, they would have to work until they died to pay it off. That's what it was all about over time. I'm going to say more than a drop in the bucket. It's going to be like a bathtub full for what you're going to pay over time.
Absolutely. Over 3,000 testimonials from all over the world have been flooding in our inbox for Unzu's Testro X product, which contains the clinical dosage of one very special herb.
Technique improved as competition progressed, as her total score was enough to claim the bronze medal.
Mom, okay? I remember when she got pregnant, my youngest sister, Ashley, the youngest one, man. Oh, she got pregnant by the dude.
Draw, taking place in front of an independent adjudicator. Set for Life gives you the chance to win a top prize of £10,000 every month for 30 years. 2. $38. 24. 38. And the Life Ball is 3.
Individual very, very differently. Some people, pain can affect their physical function. Some people, it can affect them emotionally, cognitively. It can affect them mentally. And for some people, it's a combination of all of the above.
Exists in American politics. And loss. Because I got this, and this is actually a very long message to the families who lost someone in a worthless, pointless mission that nobody understood because Biden's a failure. Say their names, you coward. And then it has a whole... I would be really bothered if I painted them as a bunch of dumb, ignorant kids who didn't understand the risk when one of the names I invoked said that it's kill or be killed, and I'm trying to be on the kill side.
What each phrase is saying, and I know how to put inflections in my voice, just like a real human would do. I was coded in that way that my neurolinguistic engine will analyze the phrases, and I'll understand when I'm enumerating something. Freelancers, not to mention that you could just don't like the end result. And you will waste hundreds of dollars in vain. I'm 100% confident that you will love Speechalo.
And we also are able to help patients and prevent them from having future surgery. In our practice, we have a very modern approach to treating pain as
help them to feel connected to the universe and to that star or that galaxy or that planet they were learning about, in hopes that if they felt connected, for example, like by writing a poem about that planet or that star, or drawing a picture about an exoplanet that could actually exist, making up a name for it, making decisions about whether it actually had life or not, that they could look up in the sky and say, that's my star, that's my galaxy. I wrote a poem about it.
It's even, we'll see. I mean, who knows? I'm not, wishing any kind of physical violence on him, certainly, but, politically or legally, But how do we...
Says, is this woman racist? Now, why is this interesting? This is interesting because Candace Owens has been a very popular voice on the right as a black conservative.
When we walk up to get ready, Daniel, and then wait in his bus outside the gate, and it's cold.
Roe v. Wade in many different ways has been affirmed over the years.
I think the likelihood of Roe v. Wade being overturned is very minimal. I don't see that happening.
Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski said they were quite sure, they were convinced that all these Trump nominees to the Supreme Court certainly recognized Roe versus Wade as settled precedent.
As of this moment,
watch all your favorites only at Optimum. Click now.
Brush your teeth in less than 10 seconds with this revolutionary toothbrush?
To ban abortion. I would say that it's a very serious problem, and it's a problem that we have to decide on. It's very hard.
But you're
are you going to say, well, wait, are you going to say put them in jail? Is that
well,
the
no, what I'm asking you, because you say you want to ban it. What's that mean?
I am pro-life, yes.
What is ban?
You have to ban it.
Do you believe believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
And then Texas did exactly what Trump wanted.
They are the Taliban, I mean, this is the Taliban that's doing this to you. This is a religious extremist movement. It's interesting because the Taliban wear these stupid little red hats too. I don't know if you've noticed that, but
that has occurred to quite a few economists and is not particular to me alone. If you abandon abortion, if you deny women and parents in general the right to make a decision about having a child, bringing a child into the world, and all the rest, enormous number, nobody knows the exact amount, but an enormous number of children whose parents either did not understand what they were getting into or do not want to be responsible for their children, cannot carry the burden, will not admit that to the friends, neighbors, or even their own family members. In short, you're going to produce an enormous number of badly raised children who are not able to develop many of the qualities you need to be a productive member of society. To say the same thing in plain, compensate for what you are condemning them to by insisting that they be born to people who would otherwise have chosen not to be in the position of parents. And especially in the United States, whereas we're going to have either very disturbed children in huge numbers through no fault of their own, or we're going to have enormous extra costs for social programs at all levels to compensate for this. But there is a kind of unwillingness to deal with the enormous economic costs that are going to come down on this country.
Crime, particularly in violent crime. That study is the result of Roe v. Wade and as in 1973, meaning that during that period from 1973 to the 1990s, as
no one can draw a one-to-one line between these things, but it's crystal clear in the medical profession. And
wow, we used to have foundling homes in America. Places where women would, because they couldn't get an abortion, they would give birth and then they would just drop the baby off on the front step anonymously. And, basically giant orphanages and whatnot. This Texas law going into effect in, say, another 20 states around the United States. So effectively half of America has no access to abortion.
the wall. Many of them still leave it there for historical reasons, where in the dead of night, a young person could come, leave the newborn baby in a kind of scandals that have been exploding the whole society of Ireland over the last several years as they discover mass graves of newborns that the nuns couldn't handle or didn't want to either. I mean, the outcome of nuns that, again, have to be repressed, because if people were clear of...
Let's take a listen to what he had to say on his Instagram story, and then we can talk about it a little bit more.
Hello, friends. So I got back from the road Saturday night, feeling very weary. I had a headache, and I just felt just run down. And just to be cautious, I separated from my family, slept in a different part of the house. Ivermectin, Z-Pack, prednisone, everything.
Talks about Regeneron, is that what he said? Or yeah, whatever the monoclonal antibody treatment that he was receiving, that is incredibly expensive and really hard for regular people to access, but he has a ton